Welcome to Tea and Mystics. Today I'm going to be sharing a short review of the book The Man Who Planted Trees by Jean Giono while I am sipping on some Ginger Tumeric tea from Citizen Tea. And I definitely enjoy this tea as I am still getting over a flu that I caught just a little while ago. If you are looking for a book to read that is very short but heartwarming and inspirational, then definitely pick up this very slim volume of The Man Who Planted Trees. The story itself was actually commissioned back in the day, quite a while ago, decades ago, by Reader's Digest, and they wanted to have an edition of their print publication that shared stories of inspirational people. So they approached different writers to write something about, the most extraordinary person that they had met. And Jean Giono was approached, and he wrote this story, The Man Who Planted Trees, which is written as though it is a true story, but in fact is not. And it's a little interesting because then Reader's Digest, after having the piece submitted, figured out it's not about a real person, and they were kind of upset about that. But all that aside, it is a wonderful tale. It reads like a beautiful folk tale about coming across a man who lives in a very desolate landscape, and he's just devoted his life to planting acorns to plant trees. And Jean Giono, as a character within the story, comes across this man and, is inspired by what he is doing. But then, he leaves and he happens to return later and sees how the trees have grown, and the man is still continuing to plant more trees and takes a completely desolate landscape and turns it into one that is flourishing. So it is a very beautiful story that, of course, is reflecting on humanity's relationship with the landscape that it is in, our relationship to trees, how important trees are to the world. And I think it also is just a meditation on what one life can do when they are dedicating themselves to a worthy cause. And I thought it was really beautiful. I read it while I had the flu. I was feeling really down, and it really did lift my spirits. And if you're just looking for something really short to read, this is perfect for it because, originally it was just something that was going to be in a Reader's Digest. Of course, the piece went on to become quite popular, translated in many different languages. This edition that it's by Vintage Earth, I think the cover is just gorgeous. And it has a short introduction and a short outro that is written by the author's daughter, sharing a bit of the story of how this, The Man Who Planted Trees, came to be. But if you do decide to read this, I would suggest just jumping right into the story. Allow that story to tell itself to you before you read the intro or the outro. That will just give you some more interesting information about the story. But I really do think it's best to just start with the story itself. As I mentioned, I am sipping on some Ginger Tumeric tea. It's really perfect for when you're still not feeling very well in the afternoon, and even just the smell I just find soothing. So definitely recommend Citizen Tea's Ginger Tumeric tea. Thanks so much for spending time with Tea and Mystics. Cheers!